Well, this is awesome. This reporter got one of the US spokespeople to basically out himself on the difference of treatment between Ukrainian people being attacked by the Russian government and Palestinian people being attacked by the Israeli government. Uh, he questions them on how can you tell who is throwing bombs or who is using bombs in Russia and Ukraine, and then ask him what's the difference between Israel and Gaza. I mean, it's obvious who is using bombs in Gaza. It's the Israeli government using US bombs, and the spokesperson wants to act like they can't tell whose whose weapon was used. Is you can tell when it's an American bomb or a bomb made by a different nation because all these bombs are made slightly differently and they will have different markings.
Just to follow up on the comments you gave about this strike in Kyiv in the hospital. Obviously, this has happened very quickly, only a few hours ago. Could you talk us through how you're able to come to those kind of solid conclusions about, this is a Russian attack. We've seen this pattern.
I could get into our ability to look at missiles that are launched. I could get into the Ukrainian military's ability to look at missiles that are launched and talk about that with respect to any one strike. But also, give me a break. There's no one else lobbing missiles at Ukraine right now.
Right.
There's no one else launching attacks at Ukraine. So I think it's pretty clear that it came from Russia.
But you probably can guess what I'm getting at is, in the other situation that we're often talking about in Gaza, when there are strikes, there have been strikes that have hit hospitals, other facilities, universities. In those cases, and in some cases, U.S. weapons are actually involved in those strikes, but you've been pretty unable in a lot of those cases to say definitively what happened. Why the disparity there about your sort of information gathering?
So the disparity is in the context of the events. Sometimes there are other attacks where there's an exchange of fire between Hamas and the IDF, and it's unclear, I should say, when one specific site was damaged, whether that damage was from IDF munitions, Hamas munitions, or both, which sometimes happens.
Right, because Hamas is using large-scale bombs like the Israeli government has, or Hamas is using jet fighters to do airstrikes like the Israeli government does. Like, it's obvious who's destroying these buildings. It's the Israeli government.
Happens in a crossfire. That's one way in which it's difficult.
Also, you got them recording themselves, bulldozing buildings, blowing up buildings, setting fires to buildings. So, yeah, we can tell who is doing these attacks, and God